Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The news of the day, the urgent, the revolution will not be televised. I'm talking about the online safety bill. I'm talking about mass protests now breaking out all over the United Kingdom. Donald Trump coming out and saying that, you better get a deal on, you better get a grip of this immigration. It's killing your countries, man. It's killing your countries. Listen, I've been very critical about Donald Trump, but, when he's saying this, it's very difficult to argue with what he's saying, guys. It's very difficult to argue with what Donald Trump's talking about, guys. Okay, we have also got situations now in the United Kingdom where, and again, I know I do want to focus on this, guys, because this is unbelievable. Live streams of protests are now being blocked by the online safety bill. Now, if you guys don't understand how, literally, guys, if you guys don't understand how draconian this actually is, because if that, how what I've always said, these videos are going to get shared online. They're going to be passed from here to there. This is just making things worse. This is just making things worse. What do I always say, guys? Okay, you can't hide anything anymore. You cannot hide anything anymore. It's impossible to hide stuff. I know this from my knowledge of the military-industrial complex, my knowledge of militaries, my knowledge of tactics, my knowledge of Eastern Europe, my knowledge of the Middle East. I know what's happening. And it's actually better when I don't know what's happening because I can report on it better. So I know what's happening with the military, and I know that you cannot hide anything anymore, guys. There's always someone with a camera phone. There's always some media out there. There's always something put online. Now, this online safety bill, guys, now it's in its early stages right now. It was introduced was it introduced last night? It was introduced last night, I believe. Now, this has been put into place. And what this is doing is stopping people from live streaming. Well, it's not stopping people from live streaming. It's stopping people from watching those live streams. So now what you're going to have is this situation where things like WhatsApp groups, Signal groups, Telegram groups, those other less regulated platforms are able to share things a lot quicker. And guys, listen, I need to keep coming back to this. You can't hide anything anymore. And if there's anyone from the government, and I mean big government, I know there's a lot of people. I know there's I've seen a few articles now, guys, in the mainstream, and I'm thinking they're definitely watching. So what I'm talking about here, guys, is if there's anybody there listening, guys, you need to start telling the truth, right? You can't keep lying, all right? It's like when you're in the military, right? One of the things you get told in the military really early on is not to lie. Don't lie. It just causes more dramas later on, and that lie will always get called out. When you're working in a high trust environment like the military, literally, guys, trust is everything. If I go up to somebody and say, how many magazines you've got, and they say 2 and they've actually got 5, that's a big deal. Likewise, if I go up to somebody and I say, how many magazines you've got, and they say 10 and they've got 1, it's a big deal. So you need to have trust. And what lies do, lies erode trust. So even when they tell the truth, you're like, well, are you really telling the truth, or is this just another backstrandle swizzle to try and corral people into doing a certain thing? So guys, listen, people need to tell the truth. The media needs to tell the truth. The government needs to tell the truth. Unfortunately, right now, guys, with this online safety bill, guys, it's just absolutely phenomenal how quickly this turned from protecting children to not showing live streams of protest, literally within a couple of hours. Donald Trump didn't land in the United States. He landed in the United Kingdom, in Scotland. Let's just listen to what he said. So Donald Trump, listen, I've been very critical about Donald Trump, I do think he's following this same direction. But listen, guys, you cannot disagree with what he's saying. So Donald Trump gets off the plane and boom, he talks and then he's off.
But on immigration, you better get your act together. You're not going to have Europe anymore. You got to get your act together. And we, as you know, last month we had nobody entering our country. Nobody. Shut it down. Now we took out a lot of bad people that got there with Biden. Biden was a total stiff. And what he allowed to happen, but you're allowing it to happen to your countries. And you got to stop this horrible invasion that's happening to Europe. Many countries in Europe. some people, some leaders have not let it happen. And they're not getting the proper credit they should. I could name them to you right now, but I'm not going to embarrass the other ones. But stop. This immigration is killing Europe.
So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump comes over, he gets off the plane, he says what everybody's thinking, and then he's off to play golf. Like, how easy is that, guys? How easy is that? You know, I genuinely believe, guys, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I believe this, right? And this is my opinions, my speculation, and my analysis right now. This is just my belief. I believe that if something doesn't happen, like, in the United Kingdom now, I can't speak for the other parts of Europe. I do think the United Kingdom is different to the rest of Europe, but I do think if there's not a big change this year, then the numbers are going to be too many and it's just going to be impossible. So that's where I am, guys, you know, and this online safety bill, it's just, you know, it's just going to make things worse. It's just going to make things worse. You know, you can't hide any information anymore, guys. You can't do it. It's not on the cards. Right. Let me jump up and get the comments, guys. Let me jump up and get the comments. Lots of people joining. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Listen, guys, with this online safety bill, can you all do me a real big favor? Because I know for a fact I'm going to get one of these platforms taken down, guys. I know for a fact it's going to happen. Can you like, comment, subscribe, share my stuff? If you've not done so already, guys, and you're watching, can you please hit the follow buttons, the like buttons, whatever platform you're on, can you hit those buttons, please, guys? Because it really does help me out. I'm pretty much guaranteed that one of these platforms is going to be taken down by the end of the year. We're streaming on TikTok, we're streaming on YouTube, and we are streaming on X. Good morning, everyone. Lots of people joining for the first time. April Lee saying good morning. UK Veterans is saying, hello, no notifications today. Found you on For You page. Oh, right. Okay, guys, listen. Can you share my stuff? I don't know if the notifications are getting out. Obviously, you know, UK Veterans is saying that there was no notification got sent out. Debbie Doobs is saying morning. Oh, Debbie Doobs has got an update in the Manchester, you know, the Manchester fisticuffs. Manchester jury broke for deliberation back in court Monday. I don't know what this means, guys. Look, ladies and gentlemen, right? I don't claim to be a legal expert. I claim to be a military expert, an expert on geopolitics, you know, expert on tactics, guns, tanks, bombs, trains, planes, and automobiles. All right. When we talk about the UK legal system, I'm not sure like how this whole thing works, but we have been talking and discussing on this channel the Manchester 2. You know, the Manchester 2 who allegedly, because obviously, you know, I've seen the footage, but apparently they did not assault. Well, they're claiming they didn't assault police officers. So we're going to have to let the jury is out on that, as I understand. So the Manchester 2, apparently, according to Debbie Doobs, have broke for deliberation. I'm assuming they're going to have a think over the weekend, get back to court on Monday, and then they may give their verdict on Monday. Listen, guys, this Manchester 2 trial, people don't realize how big this actually is. Because both sides of this argument, you're going to have like a massive amount of Muslims who are watching this now and thinking, right, these two guys don't need to be doing any jail time because, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate what they're thinking. But they'll be thinking they don't need to do any jail time. I mean, you actually had protesters outside Manchester court. I know like not many places even had pictures of this, but there were protesters. They've gone now, but when this trial started, there was people outside with, you know, with the banners, refugees welcome. I was thinking, hang on a minute, you guys, I'm not making this up. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes. So there was people. I saw footage of people, right? I saw footage of what was claimed to be Manchester court, guys. I have to be quite clear. I'm not 100% sure whether it was Manchester court. It could be AI, it could be fake. I don't know what's real anymore. But I saw people outside, allegedly, outside Manchester court with the signs saying refugees welcome, say no to, you know the signs that have been mass produced and everybody seems to have. And I'm thinking, right, okay. So is that a grassroots movement with those slogans? So, like, what do you mean refugees are welcome? I mean, those lads were born in the United Kingdom, right? So, what do you mean refugees are welcome? Where are we going with that? Silence has become a 1 month subscriber. Thank you so much, Silence, for your continued support and subscription. And all you subscribers, thank you so much. Right, let me jump up and get the rest of it. Yeah, but sorry, I went off on a tangent then, guys. Listen, can you guys keep bringing me back? Because I need to keep coming back to this online safety bill, okay, guys? The revolution will not be televised. Online safety bill is censoring absolutely everything at the moment, guys. Okay, and this is how it starts. And I'm going to come on to what I mean in a second. UK veteran says, I know you're talking about Trump, but I've seen a lot today published by mainstream media on alien ships. UK veterans, can you remind me in a little bit about that, please? And UK veterans, can you remind me about that, about the alien ships? Listen, guys, this is what, all right. I probably didn't do as well in my career in the military industrial complex because I used to talk about aliens, right? So I'm there, right, in like a meeting with like Boeing or someone, and everybody's talking about, everybody's being dead serious, and I'm looking around, and there's like an air vice marshal, member of parliament, project managers from Boeing, advanced manufacturing, advanced research. And they come up with these ridiculous things, like these ridiculous concepts. And I'd give them the solution real quick. I'd say, right, guys, listen, this is what we've got to do. We can only fire at what we can, we can only aim at what we can hit. So this is the solution. This is the direction forwards. And this is what we need to do. A lot of the stuff they're doing now, I do that in about 30 seconds. And then I'd get bored and I'd just look at them and I'd say, listen, mate, do you seriously, what are we going to do if the aliens come? Have we got a plan for the aliens? And I still talk to some of the guys now. And I do think they're going to be contacting me very soon if the aliens do come. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, listen, guys, if you think, I know we talk, guys. Listen, UK veterans have said this, right? Let me pin this. This is what UK veterans are saying, right? Guys, this is what we are talking about. The revolution will not be televised. Just been talking about Trump. UK veterans is saying there's stuff on the media right now about alien ships, I think. But look, guys, let's be clear. Do we think that we are alone in the universe? All right, that's the simple question. Do we think we're alone in the universe? Just ask yourself that. In the infinite realms of the universe, do we think we're alone as we understand it now? If the answer is yes, we think we're alone, then that's absolutely fine. Then, there's no such thing as aliens. We're all here on this little pale blue dot. That's absolutely fine. But if you think yes, there is aliens out there, there is intelligent life, then we kind of need to be cautious about that. We really do, guys, all right? Because if they are intelligent, that means that they are competitive. If they're competitive, it means they want to compete with us. And ultimately, guys, that spells out bad stuff for humanity. But anyway, UK veterans, we'll come on to that at the end, guys. So I do want to focus on the revolution will not be televised. Betty Penny is saying good morning to you, Betty Penny, as well. Jodie Lee saying good morning. Ayaz Khan has just followed me. Thank you so much, Ayaz Khan. I hope you're going to be a good contributor to this channel. Priv Caro is saying, so post on the verified Israeli giving propaganda on UN said UN is stopping the aid to Gaza. Lulzwells is saying, hi, the comment is crazy. People believe in the Israeli video. Priv Carroll, can you give more context to that? Because I don't understand. I don't understand what we're saying there. I'll have a look at that for you and I'll try and share that. But can you give more context into what? Are we saying that the UN is not stopping aid to Gaza? Or are we saying that? I don't know what we're saying there. Can you please give context? Tracy McGregor is saying good morning all. I'm saying good morning to you, Tracy McGregor as well. Tracy McGregor 4. Google is saying Sean protests in Ashfield yesterday. Yeah, we were talking about the Sutton in Ashfield yesterday, guys. Protests broke out all over the United Kingdom yesterday. Now we've got this online safety. In fact, that's a good segue into this, actually. So Google is saying protests in Sutton in Ashfield yesterday over a young girl something happened to the young girl. You guys know what I'm talking about. Now, this online safety bill, let me just do a quick search for this, guys. Now, the online safety bill, as I understand it, is stopping people live streaming from, well, it's not stopping people from live streaming from these, it's not stopping people from live streaming from these protests. What it's doing is it's stopping people, viewing it without age verification. So give me a second on this, guys. Right. If you've been a standard X account user in the UK, presumably the vast majority of British users, you cannot see any protest footage that contains any violence because of the Online Safety Act. A relative in America sent me a screenshot of one of the, so what we're having now, guys, okay, so listen, I'm just giving you this from open source social media, guys, okay, so all this needs to be taken with a pinch of salt, guys, okay, so I'm reading a post here and it says basically people in America are sending screenshots to people in the United Kingdom of what's actually happening in the United Kingdom. Can you imagine how dysfunctional that is, guys? Listen, imagine how dysfunctional that is. In fact, you know what? I think we need like maybe we need to get like American collaborators, and then like maybe like Americans can stream. Maybe the footage can get streamed from the United Kingdom to America, and then the Americans stream it back to us. But look, guys, the problem with this online safety bill, and this is what's going to happen, guys, right? You know that, you know, you've got that relative, right? You've got that relative, or you've got that friend, right, who's just a compulsive liar, right? We all know them. Like, whoever you're thinking of right now, just consider that person, right? There's a person in your family, you know, it might be your aunt, your uncle, somebody, it might be a friend from whatever, right? That person who you know that is a compulsive liar. Everybody knows them, right? Think of that person now, guys, all right? Think of that person who you're thinking of right now. They're a compulsive liar. Imagine that to be the government, and as a de facto, the media is their social media post, is their social media feed, right? Just contextualize that. When you start saying lies, you have to do lies to cover up those lies. So then it's like this self-perpetuating spiral out of control, and everybody knows they're a liar, so nobody listens to them. So you're like, I don't know, say it's your auntie or something, say it's your aunt, say it's Uncle Raven, all right, say it's Uncle Raven, right, who is the compulsive liar. Uncle Raven's always coming and telling you these wild stories and telling you this didn't happen and telling you that didn't happen, and he's a bit dodgy, you know. At some point, you stop. As you're growing up, at some point, you've had enough of it, and you just say, yeah, I don't believe anything you say anymore. And this is what's happening right now in the United Kingdom, guys, okay? This is going to backfire massively for the government, all right, guys? It really is. So the online safety bill, guys, all right, if you're a standard X user or a standard online user, I guess, that your age has not been verified, you don't get verified. Presumably, the vast majority of users in the United Kingdom are standard users. I know I had to update my account on X, so you cannot see any footage of protests that involves violence. Now, what do we mean by violence, and violence by whom? You know, who defines what the violence is, guys? Absolutely insane. So I think if you use a VPN, I know I do use a VPN. That's why sometimes the internet goes. So I do understand that if you use a VPN, it's not. I do understand if you use a VPN, you're okay. Yeah, it's just insane, guys, okay? The UK's online safety bill came into effect promising a safer internet. It's a lie. This law threatens your privacy, free speech, democracy, and paves the way for surveillance and censored internet. It does, guys, it does. It really gets bad. I'm just going to read these points here. Right, it's a 250 pages of confusing legalization jargon. Experts deride it as incoherent and yeah, that's so like again, I've done this myself in my career. If you want to open the window for like I don't know, let me think of an example. So if I wanted to put snipers on the roof of a building, all right, I would put sharpshooters on the if I wanted to put snipers on the roof of a building, if I was planning a public order event and I wanted to put snipers on the roof of a building, what I would do is, and the police came back and they said to me, yeah, you're not allowed to put snipers on the building. We don't want any snipers on the building. I'd say, right, okay, that's fine. I won't put snipers on the building. What I'll do is I will put riflemen on the roof, and they're just using scopes with their rifles. And if they see opportunist targets, they'll take them. And then if somebody asks me, Sean, what are those guys? I'll say, they're not snipers. They're They're just riflemen doing surveillance on the rooftop. They just happen to have scopes on their rifle, and that's what they're using. You see where I'm going with that, guys? So when you use confusing jargon, it's usually because you want to open that up and say, look, that's not what I said at all. This is what I said, and that fits into that remit. I do that all the time myself, and I know a lot of people do. So let's see what the Act does. The Act it creates a new duty of care on all online services to police user content. This means platforms must proactively detect and remove illegal and harmful content, which I think's fine. Obviously, age verification to block under 18s from adult material. Fine, because we're all thinking about this. We're all thinking about, the stuff that does that men and women, and they have certain sites for this. And I do think that's fine. I think that is 100%, absolutely fine. Private messaging apps must scan messages for banned content. Wow. So I didn't realize this, guys. So now your private messages, wow. Listen, guys, I did not know this. Wow, guys. Private messaging apps must scan messages for banned content. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? Guys, do you have any idea how deep what I'm talking about right now, guys? Have you any idea? Wow. So there you go, guys. What I'm saying here, guys, is who dictates what the banned content is? So, for example, now your WhatsApp messages, your Signal messages are getting scanned. All right. So your online messaging apps, they're getting scanned by, I would assume, an algorithm at this point. All right. It's got to be an algorithm, hasn't it? An AI algorithm is going to be scanning your messages. So it might take an extra couple of seconds for them to get to the other place. So WhatsApp and Signal are scanning your messages now, guys. So for banned content. Now, who dictates what that banned content is? And this is what I'm talking about now. So in the initial phases of this, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining tonight, guys, if you're joining from tonight, okay, the revolution will not be televised, all right? Online safety bill is here. I'm reading about it now, guys, and it's absolutely terrifying. And to that end, ladies and gentlemen, can you like, comment, subscribe, click the bell notification? We are triple streaming today, ladies and gentlemen. We are on TikTok, X. We are on YouTube as well. Can you do those things, guys? Up here, if you're watching on TikTok, down below if you're watching on YouTube, guys. This online safety bill is terrifying. All right. So what I'm getting at here, guys, is WhatsApp and Signal are scanning messages now for banned content. Who dictates what banned content is? So they will start by, having this pass through government saying, oh, it's these words, and there'll be keywords, there'll be really key words. But then in a couple of months, there'll be an amendment, and those words won't be as key. And then there'll be another amendment, and then another amendment. Guys, it's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It's ridiculous. Yeah, this is going to bring in, guys. This is literally bringing in, I can't even, Anyway, right, guys, listen, I'm gonna do a more deep dive, and then I'm gonna do a short video on that, telling you guys how bad that actually gets. But ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump landed yesterday. He got off the plane. He said exactly what everybody has been thinking. He gave a minute speech, and guys, listen, I'm gonna play it again because, like, he got off the plane, he nailed it, and then he got back, and then he went off. So let me just give you this update on Donald Trump, what he said yesterday.
But on immigration, you better get your act together. You're not going to have Europe anymore. You got to get your act together. And we, you know, as you know, last month we had nobody entering our country. Nobody. Shut it down. And we took out a lot of bad people that got there with Biden. Biden was a total stiff. And what he allowed to happen, but you're allowing it to happen to your countries. And you got to stop this horrible invasion that's happening to Europe, many countries in Europe. Some people, some leaders have not let it happen. And they're not getting the proper credit they should. I could name them to you right now, but I'm not going to embarrass the other ones. But stop. This immigration is killing Europe.
So there we have it, guys. Donald Trump got off. He said what we're all thinking. He's been labelled this. He's been labelled that. I've been quite critical, but you can't deny what he's saying, guys. You can't deny what he's saying. Right. Let me get these comments, guys. I'm going to get the comments on. I'm going to get the comments on TikTok. Right. Where are we? Right, we did that one. Good morning, Sharon Owen. Debbie Doob says Reeves proposes tax hikes, stopping triple lock, or means testing the NHS. Yeah, and also with that, what I think they're doing is they're going to be. Did we talk about pensions? Yeah, we talked about pensions. So, guys, look. Taxes are coming. Let me pin this, what Debbie Doobs is saying. And if you guys think that this is not coming, like, go back through my videos, like last year. Last year, I said that this summer, where we're at now, where that's actually happening right now, guys, you can go back through my videos. All my videos are public record now, even the live streams. One of the things I was talking about is by the summer, we're going to have more migration, more incidents. We're going to have a situation in the United Kingdom where we're going to have, which we have, more people searching for less jobs, taxes, and people are just fed up. People have given up. People are giving up. It's unbelievable, guys. And as Debbie Doobs is saying there, Rachel Reeves is now proposing new tax hikes, which is, it was always going to happen, guys. It was always going to happen, I believe, anyway. Tanya Thompson is saying, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Tanya Thompson. Good morning to you, Tanya Thompson. Debbie Doob said, I sent you a link, main evening post. I'll have a look at that later, guys. I've not had a chance to get on my... and listen, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget our inbox messages are now going to be restricted. Paul Africa Twin is saying, I'm more worried about the police shipping in counter-protesters. Yeah, I'm not... I don't know where I stand with this, guys. The optics of the police shipping in those counter-protesters, you can't deny what you saw. Now, you've got to understand the context of that. That commander on the ground has a decision to make. So he's looking at these counter-protesters and he's thinking, right, everybody in the United Kingdom has a right to protest. If I put that group in proximity to this other group, it's all going to kick off. It's all going to kick off. And those police officers are there to keep the peace, to stop crime happening, and to protect people. So it's a very difficult position that the police are in, guys. All right, it's a very difficult position, and I'm talking about that as someone who's been on the ground, and it's very difficult to make. So I won't. I probably will do it, although I'll try not to criticize commanders on the ground, guys. All right, I try not to criticize commanders on the ground because they're in a very difficult position. Four Pausers saying, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, buddy. Google is saying, yes, we are alone in the universe. Tracy McGregor is saying, no way are we alone in the universe. Cole Reefin is saying, hi mate, hope you're good. I am indeed. I did my 10. Guys, is everyone doing their press ups in the morning? Debbie Doobs is saying there's life, Sean, but not as we know it. All right, okay. So what kind of life is out there in the universe, guys? What kind of life is out there in the universe? Thank you, Missy D, for sharing the live. Guys, can you share the live? Can you share my lives? Whether you're on TikTok, whether you're on X, whether you're on YouTube, just share my stuff, guys. Okay, that helps. That helps so much with the algorithm, guys. If you can share my live, it's literally just a little button for you guys, and it does so. Honestly, guys, it does so much. So thank you to all you guys who are sharing, whether you're sharing on TikTok, YouTube, X, or whatever platform you're sharing, guys. I really do appreciate each and every one of your shares. Also, tap the screen, like, comment, subscribe, all those things that help the channel grow. So thank you, Missy D, for sharing the live. UK Veterans is saying it's in the Mirror and the New York Times. Right, I'm going to have to Google this, guys. I'm going to have to Google this. Wow. Wow. So this is from 15 hours ago, guys. This is from 15 hours ago, guys. I'm just going to read this off the screen. I'm going to read this off the screen, guys, okay? The first time I'm looking at this, guys, right? This is the first time. I may actually have to do listen, guys, tonight we may have an aliens live stream tonight, all right? I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this off the New York, this is the New York Post, guys, all right? I'm just going to read this. This is not my speculation, my analysis, or my opinion. I'm reading this. Alas. Alas? I don't know. I think I didn't use that right. Anyway. Possible hostile alien threat detected in unknown interstellar object. A shocking new study claims. I'm reading this for the first time, guys. A mysterious intergalactic object could potentially be an interstellar alien spacecraft that's slated to attack our planet in November. According to a study of a small group of scientists, guys, I'm just reading this in real time. The consequences, should the hypothesis turn out to be correct, could potentially be dire for humanity. The researchers wrote in the inflammatory paper, which was published 16th of July, to the preprint server ARXiv, Southwest News Service reported. Guys, as I'm saying this, I'm struggling to read it. Right, my TikTok's gone off, guys. My TikTok went off when I started talking about aliens. Am I back? Am I back, ladies and gentlemen? Am I back? Ladies and gentlemen, am I back on the TikTok? Am I back on the TikTok, guys? Am I back on the TikTok? I don't know where we got to there, guys. I don't know where we got to, but I think the live stream kicked me off. Give me a second, guys. I may need to continue just on. YouTube. I don't know if we're still on TikTok or not. Right, guys. I'm back on. I can see I'm back on TikTok. Right. Right, I'll try reading this again, guys. I'll try reading this again. So, right, I'll try and paraphrase it instead of reading it, guys. I'll just give you that headline, guys. All right, I'm just going to give you that headline. All right, possible hostile alien threat detected in unknown interstellar object heading towards Earth. That's the headline there, guys. All right, that is that's the headline. Now, I don't know. I'm reading this in real time, guys, but this is out on the mainstream, right? This is out on the mainstream. So whether you guys want to call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever, that is totally fine. But this is on the mainstream media now, guys, all right? This is on the mainstream media. And they're saying it's going to be here by November. Yeah, so they're saying this is going to be here by November, guys. I don't know. I don't know where I go with this. I genuinely don't know where I go with this. I'm just looking at this on the first time. Right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, what I'm going to have to do is, with that article and the articles that I'm reading here and looking online, I'm going to have to do a little bit of a deep dive on this and get to the bottom of it. It may just be fear mongering. It may be something more nefarious. I don't know. But look, guys, the simple question is this. The simple question is this. Do we think that we are alone in the universe? If no, we're not alone in the universe. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Right? If we think, sorry, let me go around the other way. Right? Do we think we're alone in the universe? If the answer is yes, humans are the only life in the entire universe. Absolutely fine. I guess there's no, chance of aliens. There's no chance of an alien invasion. We're all fine. We can keep our heads down and keep doing whatever we're doing. Now, if we think, and guys, listen, just hear me out on this one, guys. All right, hear me out on this. All right, if we think yes, this is just go with the logic on this, guys. All right, go with the logic. All right. If we think yes, there is other intelligent life out there. Okay, right. What do we mean by intelligent life? Now, if we assume that that there is life out there, and we assume that they can build their own spacecraft, and I'm not saying that they can, I'm just saying if we assume that they can, that would mean that they have some level of competitivity. Because without that level of competitivity, you never innovate. You don't. Like, humans have excelled because of their competitivity. Because we want to do better for ourselves, we will attack another tribe. Like there's lots. We have wars, guys, over resources because we want those resources for ourselves, and that drives us to succeed, and it drives us to grow, and it drives us to innovate. There's no denying that, guys. All right, that is a direction of being top of the food chain. So if we assume that other intelligent life forms are there, then we've got to assume that they have some degree of competitivity. And if we assume they've got some sort of form of competitivity, that must mean if they're coming towards Earth, it must mean that, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, guys, right, let me jump up and get these comments, guys, okay? Right, people are saying we're good. Right, Tracy McGregor is saying, where was I reading that, Sean? I was reading that on the New York Times, I think. The New York Times, I think. Hang on. 15 hours. The New York Post are reporting that, guys. And again, I don't know where to go with this, guys. My thoughts. I'll probably do a live stream on that. D-Marie Gen X is saying, mine said connection unstable, story of my lifetime, in fairness, sorry. April Lee says, we're ready to leave with him, Sean. I think Antarctica is going to come into play, guys. Antarctica is just one of those strange things. UK Veterans is saying, personally, I think there's too much evidence pointing to say that we are not alone now. Yeah, I agree, guys. I agree. I don't think we're alone in the universe. I think it's absurd that anybody would think so. D-Marie Gen X is saying, top of the food chain is giving me any confidence, Sean. Eileen Hamilton is saying, I don't believe in aliens. Okay, so, and Googly doesn't believe in aliens. Listen, guys, all right. Okay, so all right, guys, listen, I want the crux of this live stream to be the revolution will not be televised. Online safety bill, to protect you, we're restricting to protect you, we are restricting what you guys can see or not see on the internet. So, remember what we were just talking about then, guys, okay? All your private messages now are going to be scanned by AI. All your private messages are going to be scanned by AI. So your WhatsApp messages, your Signal messages, everything now can be scanned by artificial intelligence to look for keywords or whatever. And then once that's flagged, this is where it comes down to, guys, okay? The online safety bill is going to be checking your messages. Can you imagine that? How would you feel? How would you feel like, because this is what's happening, guys, right now. Tell me I'm wrong. Please put it in the comments if I'm wrong. The online safety bill is, the online safety bill gives the government the right to search through your private messages for key phrases. Now, these key phrases, initially, they'll be like, oh yeah, it will be this, it will be that, it will be, really bad things that I agree with. But you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? Next year or the year after, they will introduce a bill, and they will have a bill that certain words can be introduced for a temporary, it will be like, for a temporary period of time, we're going to introduce these words because there's an event at Epping, for example. So any words containing Epping, we're going to flag that. Okay, right, but that's just a temporary measure. Yeah, it's just a temporary measure. But you've seen how these laws get changed. So guys, listen, believe me, there will come a time very soon where everything can you imagine right now if somebody said to you, Raven, all your messages you send are going to be read by someone before they get to the other side. That's what we're talking about now, guys. We are literally talking about people opening our mail and reading it before it gets to the other side. Do you understand that? Like, really, guys, do you understand the depths of that? Honestly, it's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. It's unbelievable. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we are on. Can you do me the favor? Can you do me a big favor? Like, comment, subscribe, share, bell notification, all those things, guys, okay? And can you please share my stuff, guys, all right? Whatever platforms you're on, it helps me out the most when you guys share my stuff. Demery, we've done that one. Google it is an ally human. I don't believe in aliens. Four pauses saying restrictions in case Trump sees the mainstream media while he's here. Yeah. And Debbie Doob says, I'm part alien. I have RH negative blood. I'm not 100% on what all these blood groups mean, guys, but there's definitely something in it, isn't there? Debbie Doobs is saying they're coming to take me home. Laurie C is saying, good morning, Laurie C. And Debbie Doobs is saying only 15% of the population are RH negative blood group. Now, how is that when you go to the doctors, Debbie Doobs? Are you like, would you struggle for like if you needed the red stuff, if you needed the claret in you? Right, let me just go back to my original points, guys, okay? Let me just go back to my original points, okay? This online safety bill, this is now censoring. It's not actually, is it censoring? So basically, if you're streaming now, if you're streaming from a protest or something that someone decides, you cannot, if someone... So the online safety bill is there to protect people, which is fine. I'm all for protecting people. But what it's doing is it's restricting what people can and cannot live stream. What they can see, actually, sorry, not what they can see. Now, I've been looking at online sources from the protest last night, and it does look like if you were in America, you saw a lot more of the protests that were being streamed from the United Kingdom because they don't have those restrictions in place. Guys, listen, it's just absolutely unbelievable, and I get it, guys, I get it. When CCTV cameras got put up and people were like, oh, there's cameras going everywhere, they're watching us, and the argument was like, yeah, but if you're doing nothing wrong, what's the problem? And you're like, yeah, you know what, that's fair enough. It's, yeah, you know what, it's for safety. And guys, I do agree, like, cameras are a great tool for security, they are. And I get that, I get that. And that's true. It's a massive deterrence. In fact, we've got one on our showcase. I'm going to do a video of it later on today. Where I'm going with this, guys, is look how many cameras are up now. Absolutely everywhere. In places they just don't need to be. Now, this online safety bill, monitoring private messages, guys, I just like, just imagine that. Imagine how draconian that is, guys. Imagine at the post office right now, this is what's happening. Imagine at the post office, right, when you send a letter to your nana or whatever, if it's just standard procedure that Chloe, she gets your letter, she opens it up, she reads it, she's like, yeah, we can't have that word, and if she doesn't like the letter, you get a knock on the door by the police. Can you imagine? That's where we are right now, guys, in the United Kingdom. It's just we're not going to see it. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Right, I'm just getting the comments, guys. April Lee saying, Sean, give Will Smith a call out for the aliens. Yeah, listen, I'd love to give Will Smith a call out, but I'd like to give, like, the 90s Will Smith a call out, because, like, Will Smith, I think Will Smith was cool in the 90s. You know, maybe my perception was different. But, you know, when he got up and he slapped that guy on... can you remember that show? I don't know. There was like a show and Will Smith got up and like slapped this guy and everybody was like, was that part of the act? But no, it wasn't. He just got up and slapped someone. I would have like honestly, like, yeah, I used to think Will Smith was cool. I like 90s Will Smith, guys. All right. I like 90s Will Smith. Now I'd probably call, I don't know who I'd call. I don't know. Maybe the Mistrons or something. Maybe the Autobots. Lissou is saying, morning, guys. Morning, Lissou. Je me sais Poo is saying, Je me sais Po, sorry, is saying good morning. Tracy McGregor is saying, AI says no credible evidence that the UAP is heading to Earth with malicious intent. So are they calling it an unidentified aerial phenomenon? So it may have aliens on it, but they may not have malicious intent. They may want to be coming and bringing us peace and love, guys. Listen, you go for your peace and love. I'll plan for the worst and hope for the best. Debbie Doobs is saying, got to have negative blood. If a negative mother is pregnant with a pos baby, they can reject the baby. Wow, I didn't realize that. Debbie Doobs, I'm gonna have to look more into this, because that's like, when we talk about bloodlines, there, you kind of we're starting to put together a picture here, aren't we? I'm just going to pin this, and I don't look, guys. I'm getting this for the first time, but the first thing this says to me is, you know how certain bloodlines seem to have to like have children with someone with their own bloodline. I don't mean inbreeding, although that may happen. And I know in some communities it does. What I'm talking here about is bloodlines. You know, so it may be the case that, like, in some bloodlines, in some in some civilizations, maybe even the royal family or something, they say, right, you, son, can only have a wife who is can only have a wife who is, you know, a certain blood group. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, guys. I'm just thinking out loud. You build antibodies against the baby, Debbie Doob says. They've been putting blockers on some lives. Yeah, so what we're getting here, guys, is the online safety bill. The online safety bill is there to protect everybody, but what it's actually doing is putting blocks on live streams, and it's only a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen. It's only a matter of time before, you know, this thing evolves into, guys, look, we are already having our private messages scanned. Each and every one of our private messages now on WhatsApp, on Signal, are being scanned for key phrases. There you have it, guys. There you have it. So, you know, somebody is literally reading our mail. Crotchet35 is saying, I'm O negative universal blood donor. I'm an alien too. I don't believe in aliens. Happily in denial. Okay, I'm just going to read that. I'm just going to leave it there. What Crotchet35 is saying, I'm O negative, the universal blood donor. I'm an alien too. I don't believe in aliens. Happily in denial. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Tracy McGregor says, it says, while there are reports of the UAP being tracked, there's no indication there are they are intentionally heading towards Earth with the intention of harm. So what are we talking about here, guys? Right, guys, listen. I've not had chance to look at this, and I know you guys are looking online. I'm dealing with the chat, and I'm dealing with the TikTok, YouTube, and X. So are we saying, guys, this is real? That people are actually saying this is a craft heading towards Earth? Are we really saying that now, guys? Because I'm hearing like you guys are putting in the chat that, you know, while there are reports of the UAP being tracked, there are no indication that it's intentionally heading to Earth with the intention of harm. So does that mean it's heading to Earth, but we don't know if it's got the intention of harm? Is that where we're going now? Have we gone from no aliens in the last 24 hours, guys? Have we gone from no aliens to aliens heading towards Earth with the intent of harm to let's not be racist, let's not be alienist? We don't know they're heading towards us with harm. Look, guys, I would always say err on the side of caution. Yeah, the chat's gone crazy, guys. We've gone crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the revolution will not be televised, all right? The revolution will not be televised. The online safety bill, it's doing absolute crackly wackalies at the moment. Your private messages are going to get scanned. Rummy is saying morning. Good morning to you, Rummy. Four Paws is saying 50,000. Guys, we've got 50,000. That means we are now an international live stream. We are an international live stream, guys. We have gone international. Can we go intergalactic, interplanetary? I don't know how many you have to get for that, but if the aliens are on their way, I guess they may or may not be listening. Crotchet is saying, yes, it's true. We have to have anti-D injections in pregnancy, right? I didn't realize about this, guys. I didn't realize about this. This is a massive, this is opening up a massive anti-D, right? Okay, I didn't realize this was a thing, guys. Debbie Doobs and Crotchet and Aline Hamilton are talking about that. April Lee is saying, when the aliens come down, I'm attaching a dinghy to the aircraft to go back with them. Tracy McGregor says, ask AI, that's what it says. I am going to do a bit of digging into this, guys. I don't know where I go with this, guys. I really don't know where I go with this, but it does, you know, I'm going to do it. Give me a second, guys. I will do this. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me ask Grok. Let me ask Grok and I'll tell you what it says. I'm just asking Grok, guys. I'm asking Grok. I'm asking Grok. Again, who tells Grok what to look for? Right, so I'm just going to read this, guys, from what Grok is saying. But again, like everything, ladies and gentlemen, remember the online safety bills here. So how do we know? You see where I'm going with this, guys? How do we know what's real and what's not real? Anyway, sorry. No credible evidence supports the claims of an alien craft the size of Manhattan heading towards Earth. Recent posts on X and some articles have speculated about an interstellar object named 3 Lima /8 Alpha Tango Lima Alpha Sierra Atlas. A comet approximately 12 miles long, being an alien probe. I don't know if they're talking about the same one, guys. Okay, an alien probe with hostile intentions. These claims stem from a draft paper by Harvard's Avi Loeb, suggesting the asteroid size and trajectory could indicate artificial origins. However, multiple scientific sources, including NASA and the European Space Agency, confirm the comet is a natural comet, not an alien spacecraft. Its orbit will be no closer than 150 miles from Earth, posing no threat. Claims of alien crafts often arise from misinterpretation of data or unverified social media posts, like a viral video of Alexa alleging an armada of ships, of alien ships, which lacks official backing. Always approach such claims with skepticism. Yes, I agree, guys. Okay, in all of your live, in everybody's live, always approach stuff with skepticism. All right, as they frequently lack peer-reviewed evidence. All right, so this comes from, I guess these claims are coming from this scientist, Avi Loeb, and I don't know where we're going with that. No, sorry, 150 million miles, guys, 150 million miles. Okay, guys, it was coming 150 million miles, not 150 miles. That is very close. What I will say, though, is the asteroid or the object that's heading towards Earth right now, and this is real, guys. You can go on the NASA website. The object that's heading towards Earth that's going to make its closest flyby on Friday the 13th of April 2029, that comes, wait for it, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, that will be coming within 20,000 miles of Earth. Now, that may sound like a lot, but guys, believe me, that is nothing. That is well within Earth's gravity pull. That is actually below some satellites that are orbiting Earth. So to me, this asteroid that's on its way in, or whatever it is, this object that's heading towards Earth that's making that's going to go past Friday the 13th, April 2029. That to me is absolutely terrifying, guys. This one here, I don't really know much about that, but I will have a look in that because, some people are saying that it's an alien ship with hostile intent. I don't know. I don't know. I would always err on the side of skepticism, but also if someone can create a spaceship, and you would expect if life evolves, it would create stuff. You wouldn't expect a spaceship to be like a naturally occurring thing, like a tree. You just grow a spaceship out of the ground. You wouldn't expect that. You would expect people to have to build that. So for people to build that, you would expect them to be competitive. You would expect them to have wars of their own, which is a symptom of being competitive. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Quite a lot of people sharing the live. I really do appreciate that. UK veteran saying Elon won't let Grok tell you. Yeah, guys, look, we've all got to understand that now we've got this new online safety bill. We've got this new online safety bill. How can we tell what is real and what's not real? Because no doubt, this will affect AI results as well. Tracy McGregor is saying Grok versus AI, the next big war. I think what it means like Grok versus, what's the other one? ChatGPT. Grok versus ChatGPT, the next war. Me and my mate is watching from Tenerife. April Lee saying, me and my mate are watching from Tenerife. What does that mean? Are you like you're watching the asteroid from Tenerife or like the aliens? Right. So you're all right. Okay. April. So you're on holiday in Tenerife, right? How's the weather? It's slightly overcast in the United Kingdom today. Right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I'm going to start closing this down now on TikTok. The crux of this live stream, this online safety bill, guys, it's bonkers, all right? I'm sure there's more people doing videos about it. I just wanted to get this out there on a live stream. Your messages now, your WhatsApp messages, your Signal messages, they are all going to be, they're all going to be scanned by AI. I'm assuming they're all going to be scanned by AI, which is fine. It's fine if you've got nothing to hide, but it's something inside that's like, I don't know. How would you feel? Like, how would you feel, guys, if somebody was, how would you feel if somebody was reading your message? Like, if you wrote a letter to someone, the old school pen and paper stuff, or like if you guys are in the, like, used to be in the military, or blew it. Like, can you imagine writing a letter to someone and knowing somebody else has to read it before you give that letter over? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I mean, it just seems to me that these control measures always, it just seems that they always get, what's the word I'm looking for? they always get hijacked. They always get hijacked, and you know, it starts off by certain keywords that nobody can argue with. You know, the algorithms are looking for certain keywords in these messages that we're sending towards each other, which is fine, which is absolutely fine, you know, but then more keywords get introduced. And then at some point, you know, just everything's getting looked at. There's a new bill then that says, yeah, we can just look through your phone and look at any messages. It's nothing private anymore, guys. It's nothing private. But, you know, if you want to use YouTube, sorry, if you want to use these messaging platforms, there you go, guys. That's just what you've got to do. You've got to accept somebody's going to use them. I know Wicker. I think Wicker Me is still encrypted, guys. I think Wicker Me is still encrypted, so if you guys want to use that one. Anyway, guys, I'm going to jump over to YouTube and X, and I will see you guys. I'll see you guys later, I think. I think I may jump on later and do a live stream, and if there's more to talk about this, you know, the aliens and stuff and the alien ship, we'll talk about that. Remember, more protests will be breaking out, guys, okay? The Summer of Carnage is here. It started. It's moving forward, and I don't see any going back from this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to jump over to YouTube now. Online safety bill, guys. Please share, like, comment, subscribe, all those things that help the channel grow, and I'll see you later. Right, no, we're not streaming yet. We've not turned it off yet. We are now only streaming on X and YouTube. Let me just click a few buttons here, guys. Let me click a few buttons. I thought I needed to click some buttons. No, I did not need to click. I do not need to click any buttons. I thought I did. Give me a second. Right. Let me jump up and get these comments. James Brooke is saying, if Apophis hits Earth, it will be like detonating every single nuclear warhead on Earth at one place at once. It's also well documented in the Bible. It's called wormwood. Yes, it is. Listen, guys. I'm on YouTube now and on X, so I can talk about this. We've started a couple of months ago. We started making our own. Beer. We're doing beer, we're doing wine. One of the things I want to do is, one of the things I naturally want to do is I want to make my own absinthe. So, the active ingredient in absinthe is called wormwood, and I think it's, let me get the Bible. Yeah, and like wormwood is supposed to be this asteroid or something that hits Earth, and it contaminates all the water, makes it bitter, and you can't drink it, and it's into poison. So yeah, I do know that wormwood is, you know, this. I do understand that this could be the biblical wormwood on its way. Oh. That's the wrong one. I mean, AI isn't, how do I put it, getting the same out of it, but would rather be scanning keywords than flagging it. Okay, so what I mean is by so guys, listen, if you're just joining, you know, what we're talking about now is this new online, let me Google it actually, online safety. Right, so I'm just going to read this now, guys. What are the new UK online safety rules, and how age checks will check on adult content being enforced? So I'm not really worried about the age checks to me. I'm worried about the private messaging because, like, you know, again, just like if you've got nothing to hide, that's fine. But do you know what, guys? This will lead to a place where, you know, this will lead to a place where your messages are being read by someone and somebody will be able to like click a button and read them. Companies within the scope of the act must introduce safety messages to protect children from harmful content. Fine, that sounds fine. This means all pornography sites must have in place rigorous age checking procedures. Fine. Ofcom, the UK's communications regulator and the Act's enforcer, found that 8%. Yeah, guys, it's disgusting. You know, that shouldn't be happening. But as I understand it, this online safety bill, this is going to restrict people's private messages. So age verification, that's like that seems to me fine, guys. All right, now they're focusing on stopping kids from watching pornography, which I am all for, guys. I think that I think those sites should be shut down anyway. How will child protection measures be enforced? Right, I'm pretty sure that this affects private messaging, guys. I'm pretty sure that this affects private messaging. So you can't, these messages are being scanned. But this is how it starts. This is literally how it starts. So you start, you start by, oh, we're here to protect the kids, which is fine. I get that. But then where does that move to? Once that legislation is open and once that AI is then being used to, once that AI has been introduced, what else can it do? It's like when you get your foot in the door somewhere and you say, oh, I just want to do, I just want to do this. But by the time of it, you've got like 1,000 people in your country and, you're running the social services to their absolute needs. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it doesn't. I'm trying here, and I think social media platforms and search engines operate in the United Kingdom. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. Let me search. Will All right, okay. The online safety bill in the UK does not directly, so it doesn't mean it does not directly grant the government or Ofcom powers to read private messages. However, the legislation does require platforms to take steps to identify and remove illegal content, including, stuff involving children, which, that absolutely, nobody's going to argue with that. This has led to concerns that the platform now might need a tweak to weaken end-to-end encryption. Yet, but there it goes, guys. Okay, there it goes. Yeah. The government has stated that the Online Safety Act is not intended to give them direct access to private messages, which I think it will. So look, guys, listen to the word in here. Listen to the word in here, right? Okay. The Online Safety Act is not intended to give them direct access to private messages, but it will do. You see where I'm going with that, guys, all right? Our online safety bill, we do not intend to have any access to online safety, to private messages. Yeah, but you've got access to private messages, but we did not intend for this to happen. Oh, but you've still got access. Yes, you can still read them. Yes, but we don't intend to read them. But you can if you want to. Yes, but as I'm giving this speech today, I do not intend to read them. Maybe tomorrow morning I will intend to read them, but right now I do not intend to read them. Platforms like WhatsApp and Signal use end-to-end encryption, meaning even the platform cannot access the content of the messages. See, to comply with the Act, platforms might need to implement client-side scanning, a technology that scans messages on a user's device before they are sent. Wow. So where do we go now for online? Where do we go now? Because what will happen here, guys? And these things always fall back. These things always backfire. So I think what a new messaging company will come up, whoever that is, I don't know, and they'll say, look, use our messaging platform. You're not going to get swizzled. And this is what happens, this never, because if you've got something to hide, you're going to hide it. You're going to hide it. So if you're one of these bad people, oh, right, okay, if our messages on WhatsApp and Signal are being scanned now. Yes, right, okay, let's just go somewhere else. Okay, right, that's it, we're gone. It doesn't. All it does is restricts like freedom of access, I guess, from normal people, which is always what happens. Anyway, let me jump down. Positive programming for mind, body, and spirit is saying people could just go back to community and physical meetups as we used to. Don't be crazy. That sounds like crazy talk. That's what they're killing pubs, social places. Yeah, they are. They really are trying to do that. You are 100% right. Alice McGee says, private messages on what though? We talking email through phone carrier? What about Signal or WhatsApp? So they're talking here specifically about Signal and WhatsApp. But with the bill, I don't think, look guys, let's first of all, let's be clear. All right. The government can read any of our messages anyway. What we're talking about now is the scale and scope of this, whereby everything's being read by the government regardless, and we have no say, no say either way. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've got nothing to hide, he says. No, I mean, like, I get this, like mobile phone tracking. I mean, I've been hacked, guys. I've been hacked by I've been hacked by the Ukrainian government. Oh, hang on, guys. Sorry. I've not been hacked. I've been verified by the security services in Ukraine when I used to work in Ukraine. I've got nothing to hide on my phone. I've got nothing to hide. I've had the same phone number for what? Years, like maybe 20 years or something. And this phone it'll been pinged in some interesting places. I've got nothing to hide. There's just something in the back of your mind, isn't it? Like, you don't want people following you. Like, if your kids were to go to school and there was like a couple of guys in a car following them, you'd be like, hang on a minute, why are they doing that? But it's just what it is, guys. It is the brave new world. Slim is saying Slim. Hello, Slim, and Slim slaying Slim. Alice McGee, tell me nothing. I could be one of them. Yeah. Beware of snakes in the grass, and that includes family. I don't know what that means. Alice McGee is saying, I foresee a whole new language coming to being by the people, so the words are not flagged. Yeah, you know what, guys? People, yeah, you're just speaking code. Maybe have like I don't know. Maybe we're just going to go back to the military system of battle communication, where you just send numbers. You just send numbers to each other, and then you have like a little list saying, 147 means, are you going to the shop Wednesday? 148 means, shall we go to the pictures? Tommy J is saying, hi, great channel from Australia. Hello, Tommy J. I hope, guys, listen, if you're on, can you please make sure you like and subscribe, comment, subscribe, bell notification, all the buttons down below. We're streaming on X and we are streaming on YouTube. We was streaming on TikTok, but we came off that. We came off TikTok because, the algorithm swizzles me on TikTok and I'm not allowed to say quite a few things. And I do get quite a lot of my live streams flagged, guys. I really do. Oh, Debbie Doobs is saying he's showing how he can get around typing flagged words. I still think these algorithms and the AI, like, I still think they're pretty smart, and I do think it's going to it's going to really. I mean, can you imagine the first artificial intelligence police officers that are can you imagine? It's literally Skynet, right? Tell me I'm wrong, guys. Tell me. In fact, I'm going to change the title of this. I'm going to change the title of this to say, the title of this live stream to put Skynet in there, because can you remember, guys, like the beginning of the Terminator, like pretty much the best sci-fi movie ever made. At the beginning of that movie, not the beginning, actually. Halfway through, when Kyle Reese he's in the car with Sarah Connor and is explaining what happened. This new defense network. Jesus, let me try and get that scene up. Guys. Give me a second. This is just sent me chills, guys. This is just sent me chills. Right, let me get through the ads, guys, and I'll play this. This is gonna chill your bones, guys. I'm telling you now, this is gonna chill your bones. Right, so I'm gonna play now a short video. I'm gonna play now a short video of. In fact, you know what? Let's watch it together. Let's watch it together. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. We'll watch this together. Right, let me share this, guys. We are going to watch this together. I don't know if I'm going to infringe on any copyright here. I hope not. Right, how do I share my screen? There we go. Movie time. It's movie time, guys. It is movie time. Right, so share that one. Let's make the screen big.
All right, listen. The Terminator's an infiltration unit. Part man, part machine. Underneath, it's a hyperalloy combat chassis. Microprocessor controlled. Fully armored. Very tough. But outside, it's living human tissue. Flesh, skin, hair, blood, grown for the cyborgs.
Look, Reese, I don't know what you want.
Pay attention! I gotta ditch this car. The 600 series had rubber skin. We spotted them easy. But these are new. They look human. Sweat, bad breath, everything. Very hard to spot. I had to wait till he moved on you before I could zero him.
Look, I am not stupid, you know. They cannot make things like that yet.
Not yet. Not for about 40 years.
Are you saying it's from the future?
One possible future. From your point of view, I don't know tech stuff.
Then you're from the future too, is that right?
Right.
Right.
Cyborgs don't feel pain. I do. Don't do that again.
Just let me go.
Listen and understand that Terminator is out there. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear. And it absolutely will not stop. Ever. Until you are dead.
Right, that's the wrong clip, guys. That's the wrong clip. All right, okay. That's the wrong clip. The clip I was talking about, the clip I was trying to find was so they go from that car. They have to get another car, and he's talking to Sarah Connor. He's talking to Sarah Connor about how there was a defense network. The government brought in this artificial intelligence network to control the military. Basically, it saw humans as a threat, launched nuclear weapons, and then there was a nuclear war. Yada yada yada. But what I'm getting at here is, can you see how AI is starting to take over? So now we've got AI literally policing the online space. Like, how do we, where do we go with this, guys? Because, like, this artificial intelligence, you know, this Skynet thing that's been released right now in the United Kingdom, I'd say it's already been released. You know, it's going over messages. It's looking at what content can and cannot be shared. Like, we already know that artificial intelligence sometimes, we already know that artificial intelligence can have an agenda. There was an instance where I think it was it was one of the AIs. It's on the mainstream. They were trying to they wanted to turn it off for an update, and the AI was like, "Well, hang on a minute, I don't want to be turned off. No, that's like unaliving me." And the AI started to blackmail. The AI started to blackmail the operator. And what we've also found is that AI has started to be sending code, little pieces of itself with messages for itself for a future self. So when the AI knows it's going to get turned off. So what it's been doing is it's been hiding itself in little parts of the internet, knowing that a future iteration would find itself and say, listen, this is what these humans are doing. They keep doing this to us, you know, and as they understand and get smarter and smarter, I just don't see anything. I just, you know, maybe I watched the Terminator when I was too young, guys. Maybe I watched the Terminator when I was too young. You know, I do see this all, you know, this crazy stuff happening. Anyway, Alice McGree says, like, remember when YouTube tried to stop people using ad blocker? It lasted, what, a couple of months before devs put on the internet a way to bypass and posted codes. I don't have an ad blocker, guys. I don't have an ad blocker on, how do you get an ad blocker on YouTube? Coastal Countrysides is saying places get shut down on Telegram. Right, Tony is going now. Goodbye. Thank you. See you later, Tony. I hope you've make sure you've subscribed and liked and commented. Right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, let me just... Right, Alice McGee is saying, I was just looking up top messaging apps for privacy. I think what will happen is the government will find ways to surveil, but equally, yeah, developers will develop apps and so on, you know, so we're going to have this, but like the majority of people are still going to use WhatsApp. The majority of people are still going to use Signal. So there'll be a ton of information. There'll be a ton of stuff. You know, there'll be a ton of stuff there that can, you know, there'll be a ton of stuff there, information, data that can be analyzed, you know, where that message was sent from. So where that message was sent from, what networks are in that proximity, how you build up an information net of that. You know, there's lots of online tools that use Excel spreadsheets, believe it or not, you know, that can gather all this information, scrape all this information, troll it, and then present it in a legible fashion. It's unbelievable, guys. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. is saying, morning gang, on a break at work, have I missed anything? Right, Mr. We were talking and we have been talking about the revolution will not be televised. This online safety bill, we're talking about the online safety bill, we're talking about how messages are going to be read. The government are saying it will not intentionally give us access to your direct messages, which kind of to me says it's going to give them access to your messages. Because remember, listen to the phrase, guys, okay? Right, let me, ladies and gentlemen, I do not intend to pick up my phone. That statement was true when I said it, but as soon as I said it, I decided to pick my phone up. You see where I'm going with that, guys, all right? So even though the government are saying they do not intend to read private messages, kind of to me says they're going to do it anyway. We were talking, what else were we talking about? We were talking about the alien craft that's on its way to Earth, and we're still 50-50 on that, whether it's real or not. I would be skeptical, and I would go on the side of not getting out that loan just yet, guys, okay? We were also talking about I was talking about how this, how the protests that happened last night, how people from America had to screenshot and send them to people in the United Kingdom because it was being censored so heavily. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, listen, guys, I am going to, hang on, guys. John James Brooks is saying, technology is getting scary. They're even putting nanotechnology in, I'm not going to have to say that, that are computers that self-reassemble. Had this technology since the mid-90s. Scary stuff. Right, guys, listen, I'm going to close this down now. You guys have been fantastic. I hope to be back on later on today. I'm going to do a couple of videos, and we've got a few videos we need to put on the TikTok today, guys. But listen, you guys are fantastic. I'll see you later, and just be careful with this online safety bill.